Even in my weakness, I still have the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the great I am, the great I am, my El Shaddai, my Jehovah Jireh, the great provider, yeah, the great I am, my awesome ruler, my great Redeemer. God, you are everything I need. Oh, 'cause even in my weakness, oh, I'm grateful that in my weakness, thank you, Lord, that even in my weakness, I still have you.
Speak to my heart, Holy Spirit, give me the words that will bring new life. Words on the wings of the morning, the dark night will fade away. If you speak to my heart now, speak to my heart. Holy Spirit, message of love to encourage me, lifting my heart from despair. Love me and care for me. Speak to my heart now, oh Lord. Speak to my heart, Holy Spirit. Give me the words now, the words that oh my words on the wings of the morning, my dark night will fade. Speak to my heart, speak to my heart, speak to me, Holy Spirit. Message of love, message of love to encourage me. Lifting my heart from despair. How you love me, care for me. Speak to my heart, oh my. Speak to my heart. That's what I want you to do. Speak to my heart, 'cause I'm waiting to hear from you. Speak to my heart. Hey, that's what I want you to do. Speak to my heart. Speak to my heart, Lord. Oh, give me your holy word. If I can hear from you, then I'll know what to do. I won't go on, never go on my own. Just let your spirit guide me, and let your word abide. Speak to my heart, Lord. Oh my. your holy, give me your holy word. If I can hear from you, if I can hear, then I'll know what to do. I won't go alone. So that I won't go. I'll never go on my own. No, let your spirit guide me, Lord. Let your word abide. Speak to my heart, Lord. Speak to me. Give me your holy word now. If I can hear from you, then I'll know what to do. I won't go alone. Said I'll never go alone, Jesus. I'll never go on my own. Spirit guide me, Lord. Let your word speak to my heart, Lord. To speak, Jesus. Give me your holy. Come on, let me know how to please. I can't hear from you. God, I gotta hear your voice. Then I know what to do. I'll be able to make my choice. Said I'll never go by myself, no. God, I really need your help. Got me on through the night. Then I know it will be alright. I'm ready, Lord. Said that I'm ready. Said that I'm ready. Said that I'll never go. Said that I'll never go. No. Not on my own. Let's stand on our feet as we bring the sacrifice of praise into the house of the Lord. Come on, everybody. We come. We come to give you the glory and all of the honor. We come to give him the glory. We come to give and the honor. And all of the praise. Anybody come to give him praise? Give you all the glory and the honor. Come on, anybody, come to give him praise. The Bible declares, oh, give thanks unto the Lord. We bless his name. We lift him up. We adore him. The Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. We come to give you the glory and all of the honor. Anybody come to bless him? We come to give you the glory and all of the praise. Lift your voice and say, oh.
Connecting the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM, W300EB, Macon, and WDDO 980 AM, Perry, Macon.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
Mother Georgia, she's back on live, the historic 980 WDDO. All of a sudden, let's go live into the studio with our host, Brenda Sutton.
You're joining us. Hey, everybody.
Hey. How y'all doing?
Oh, wait a minute. I forgot. Hello, everybody. Oh, my God. You know, I got to do my Barry White thing.
So extra.
All right, y'all. Y'all join us now. I'm going off Facebook Live on my phone. So join us on 107.9 FM or 980 AM or Facebook Live or YouTube or go to the Glory page. Okay,
Mhm.
join us. Call in 478-250-1444. All right.
I'm not even sure what you're trying to say.
Something about the hair.
Okay.
Something.
No, I
What
think
was
he
it?
was saying my head was cut off, so I just needed to adjust my case.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought he was trying to do a Marie Antoinette kind of thing, and he was warning you of a medieval application. There's Brenda Sutton. How are you, Brenda Sutton Williams?
Hey, how y'all doing?
What's up? I'm sitting in the big chair today.
Oh, he must have got there on time.
Oh, see, that was not cool.
Finally, normally he is the one that's running in.
That was
Like
not
Anthony said,
cool.
what
I
happened
was
to the
in fact,
doorknobs behind Johnny?
in
That
fact,
was
in fact,
not
I
cool.
was on time today, but my little Denver is lying behind me, and she don't feel real good. She's got a fever of 102.8. So y'all keep
Wow.
her in
Oh,
prayers.
oh,
She,
we will.
COVID is real. She went out this weekend. I think it was to Urban Air. I think is where it was.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that'll do it.
And it was, and those places are nasty.
yeah.
I mean, I know they do the best they can to keep them clean, but they're like just
Can we just say those places are subjective to a lot of kids and germs instead of just nasty? Just
so
say
but the
They're not fully sanitized.
that's
great thing
that's even
about
better. Thank you, Emily. Because
but the great thing about the show is
what
that
if we ever
we can
want
take it
them to advertise? You know what I mean?
we can take the show anywhere. You know what I mean? I don't have to be at the station, which I would prefer to be at the station, but I can be right here sitting in my office. So for
Well, we're
those,
glad you didn't come around since Denver has a fever. We don't want you bringing, anything up here.
well, Denver is my baby, and so of course I'm gonna want her to, you know.
Well,
Uh huh.
I'll just say that I wish you were here. I don't have the same sentiment that Emily does.
Emily, are y'all fan? And I'm just saying,
Oh, see, don't
It's a
I
start.
little,
got
it's a
on a
little
sweater.
warm in here.
Darn, I got on a sweater today.
Oh, it's
Oh well,
cold
Anthony
over.
said, "Brenda, you looking like she lost some weight." He said, "Okay, Brenda, say Brenda, you looking good."
Well, thank you, thank
And
you.
don't be
I'm
talking about the
trying.
doorknobs, Anthony.
You know,
That actually is a good
I've
question.
had I have
What
had a rough,
happened to him?
listen, Johnny. I have
What?
had a rough day. I have had a rough day at this
What
job.
happened?
You hear me?
What
I've
happened?
had a rough day.
What happened?
Just a rough day at the courthouse.
Oh, really? The people were acting up.
Well, you know what? People don't really act up. People are going through stuff.
They're
You know what I
going through.
mean? They're just going through stuff. So,
So your heart is heavy because you were compassionate, very compassionate for people today. Your heart has been tested today.
my
You're
heart.
emotionally drained.
Look here. Before we move forward, thank you, Richard. Thank you, Richard Robinson, for
Hey,
sponsoring our
listen,
show.
we love what
You
Richard
know,
Robinson
let
does
me
for the
just say
community.
this. A lot of times people don't realize the benefit of pre-planning and things like that. Y'all need to pre-plan and stuff. And when y'all do, y'all need to call Richard now. You need to call Richard Robinson. Cause he the man now. It can help you with that.
Uh huh.
Y'all laugh and see. I'm trying to tell you,
No,
it
No,
ain't
well,
it ain't
we're yeah.
no, Brenda, I'm laughing at this post that I read. The guy said smoking meth and posting Bible quotes on Facebook does not make you a Methodist.
see, Johnny, that's why we ain't gonna be able to get no sponsorship fooling
I
with you.
just, it's a
We ain't
quote.
gonna be able to
Somebody,
get Richard.
somebody posted that on Facebook.
Pray for him, Richard. We ain't gonna be able to get no sponsor. The phone
But
number.
he does. He is Richard Robinson Funeral Home. They have 3 locations. They're wonderful people. I know a couple of the funeral directors that do work up under him. They're very good at their job. They're compassionate. They're
They
exactly
are.
what you need when you are going through that tough time with your family. So you guys give Richard Robinson Funeral Home a call. He's the man. He's the man of the hour.
That number is 478-788-1234. Again, that number is 478-788-1234. And and I and I know, and you can tell them that Brenda sent you, okay? Brenda, Emily,
Okay.
and Johnny, because you won't get any better service. I can tell you, fair is not the word. Very, 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 very fair. The big
Yes.
word for him, though, Emily, is transparent. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, homeboy came out with the paper. I've dealt with him several times, and he come out with the
Yeah.
paper.
I've heard that he is very very good at
Hmm.
what he does. He's like you said, he's very transparent and he's compassionate. So I think that goes a long way when you're in that specific time of your life where you need somebody to just give you grace, mercy, compassion. And I've heard nothing but wonderful things about Rich Robinson. So he has, kudos in my book.
Well, you know what, Johnny? We had an interesting conversation going. I mean, guys, y'all don't hear the backstory. It is so bad. My son said, Mama, y'all got to get off the Christian radio show and y'all got to start a podcast because y'all are just out of control. And I was like, oh, you know, I haven't even sent my links out to people because I just, you know what? I didn't even do that.
Well, you have a valid excuse today. We got to take care of little Denver. So
Yeah, I was just like, well, darn. But he said, Mama, y'all are constantly, just kind of growing and stuff. But that pre-conversation before the show was absolutely awesome. Emily, you gonna tell them what it is that we're gonna be doing talking about today?
Yeah, tell them.
uh
Yeah, tell them,
okay,
Emily.
first I'm
Tell
gonna
them.
need you to
Tell
calm
them.
down. I'm gonna need you to calm all the way down because he's ready. You can tell he's ready. He's ready to bash every woman that lives on the face of the planet Earth. So, ladies, just get ready. But basically, I was sent a clip of Cam Newton. No, was he a football player, right? Or
Yeah,
was he
he's
basketball or
football
football?
player, All
Ex-football
American.
player.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Uh-huh.
he of course he has a
Net worth
podcast.
$75 million.
Okay, well, kudos to him. So he has a podcast and a really good podcast. I've watched it a few times, not often, but a few times. Anyway, he had a female psychologist on today, and they were talking about marriage and some different things like that. And so he made the comment that he was waiting, or that he was waiting and kind of being choicey, and that's the best way I can describe it. She said, waiting for marriage, basically. And he was taking his time, is what his words were. He was taking his time. And so she said, well, how many kids do you have? He says, I have 8 children. She said, oh, wow, by all the same woman? He said, no, I have 3 baby mothers. And he said, and I want as many as God can send. He said, send them on. I want as many kids. And she said, okay, well, seem like to me you're not waiting on anything. You're not being selective. You're not taking your time. You've selected 3 different women. And so it just kind of, I think, spiraled out. She had some super, super valid points. But I think today we're going to kind of touch on a lot of those different issues and topics. And of course, Johnny will be Johnny. And, Johnny's going to switch it up. Well, not switch it up. He'll do what he do. But basically, I was definitely in the psychologist corner. She said that she said, Jesus, take the wheel. Basically, that he wasn't waiting, he wasn't being selective at all. He was just basically planting his seed wherever he wanted to plant his seed. And having 3 baby mamas with and 8 children between the 3, you're not being selective. You're just being selfish, essentially. And so my whole thing is, his mindset was he wanted as many children as he could get. He wanted them to keep coming. And I think her point was that, okay, are you going to marry at some point? Because what you're doing, and you think that you're being smart and clever by waiting and being choosy to choose your wife, but all you're doing is creating broken homes. Right now you have 8 children. If you created a broken home for 8 individuals, so if you add more children to that, then you're creating more broken homes, because we all know you cannot give 8 children the adequate love and attention they need if they're in 3 different households. It's physically impossible to be in all 3 places at one time. So I guess that's the topic of today. What do you guys think about that? What are your thoughts on it?
Well, Johnny, you had so much to say, or do you want me to go?
He's waiting patiently, but he wants to lean in so hard, and I'm gonna let him go because I want him to get
No.
Look how close he is to the mic. Johnny is never this close to the microphone.
See, she said Nick
She
Cannon.
sure did,
She
Tina.
said Anthony says Nick Cannon is a proud father of 12. All 12 of his children share his 12 kids with 6 different women, including ex-wife Mariah Carey.
Right. And so a couple of people did bring up that's the Nick Cannon situation, but he has 6 baby mamas. Yeah.
Who?
Okay. Just said 6.
Oh, yeah. Now,
Yeah, Nick Cannon has 6 baby mamas. Like, how?
Well, first of all, I did a little research on this, and so let me go back from and Johnny, this is going to be a totally different perspective, and I did not put this in the chat, but I had to talk about this, Emily, because this is really interesting to me. Let me tell you, that call number is 478-250-1444. Y'all gonna call in today because I'm supposed to get it now. 478-250-1444. Johnny, you're not gonna like what I'm getting ready to say, but Emily, you will agree. Okay. First of all, there are some women out there who don't really realize that you don't need to have a baby from somebody like that. Okay. That is a control issue on his part. And that is abusive. It is emotionally and financially abusive because these women get these children with a guy like Cam. And I thought about it. I was like, why would you want to pretend like you're going to be a wife with somebody like him? Cam done already told you he don't want no wife. You know, he said, I do not want a wife. So why are you, that woman, putting yourself in the position of somebody he didn't already told you that he don't want that kind of relationship?
Because she don't want a husband.
The first one, there's an excuse for the first one. The first one, his first baby mama, his first wife. I think they were engaged. Y'all don't quote me on it. I believe that they were engaged. Now, the first one, I give her, she's an exception because she was the first one. She was the first one to have his children. She had multiple children, probably thinking that, as most of us do, I know Johnny will agree with this. We think that we'll be the ones to change him. I'll get him to marry me because I'm the special one. And she realized that, okay, clearly I'm not the special one. And he's, dibbling and dabbling in other, situations. So I have to walk away. Now, baby mama number 2 and baby mama number 3 already knew. And Anthony said it best, child support. You got into that situation with him. You knew he didn't marry the first one. And so you're laying down with the hopes of having children so that you can collect a check. There's no way you can convince me, especially the third baby mama, that you saw what he did to first baby mama, second baby mama. For some reason, you thought that you would be an exception to the rule. No, you didn't. You knew exactly what to do because if you were smart, you would have been using protection no matter what he said, because you've seen the example he showed you with the first 2. So you should have been using protection, him and you should have been using protection. So you got pregnant intentionally because you wanted to collect a check.
And then not only that, what you thought you'd do, and Johnny, I'm going to tell you, this is the oldest trick in the book. And just like you said, if I love him hard enough, he'll see me as being really, really special. And then what I'll do is I'm going to I'm going to go down to the courthouse and I'm going to put him on child support. And I think I'm going to embarrass him enough to where he'll just see that it's cheaper to keep me and love on me. Johnny, it is the classic case to me of a power and control by him. Is so many women out there that can be controlled. Well, put it like this, I'm sure that he gave her money and stuff like that, but I was just thinking he's worth $75 million. They just knew they were going to be getting all this money. And Emily, if they was in the state of Georgia, they wouldn't be getting all of that money because there is a
Mm-hmm.
cap on how much money he can give them for
Mm-hmm.
child support. So those children would never be living in the lifestyle that he would have for himself unless he just willingly did it. And I don't think he's going to do that. I don't see any of them.
He,
I don't see
he
that.
he won't, because of the type of person he is. I do know, or I've read rather, a few male celebrities that make sure that the mother of their child or the mother of their children is in a really, really, really. And some of them put them in penthouses, you know, $700,000-800,000 homes, so that their children can have the same type of lifestyle that they're accustomed to. Now, so I won't say that men won't do that, because there are some men that say, hey, you know, I want you, even though me and your mama ain't together, I want you to live nice. I want y'all to be comfortable. And a lot of men will take care of their baby mamas. But, you know, that's an exception to the rule.
Janet, you sit over there mighty quiet.
He's ready. He's ready. He's brimming.
I can't get a word in edgewise.
I don't even want him to, because I already know this is finna go left.
This is
Come
all I
on, let's
want to
take it
say.
left.
When I listen to this, it gives me the notion that women are these weaklings and don't have minds of their own. See, my point of view of the female is she's strong. See, I don't see women as little lambs. There are so many women examples I've had in my life of lioness. And so I don't look at all of these women as victims. So if you're going to approach this whole situation and take the point of view that all these women are victims, even the women that are dealing with Cam, these women are victims. I don't believe that. I believe that maybe some people are victims, male victims and female victims. There's a reason why there's a term called henpecked that about men and whipped about men. Those sayings come toward men because they've been quote unquote controlled by women, or been deal with a relationship with a woman where she's in charge, and no matter how bad she beats him down, he figures, I'm going to win her heart. I'm going to win her over. I don't care how many times she cheats on me. I don't care how many times she takes my money and goes out with another guy. So it's not a one-sided thing for me. And so that's why I have the points of view that I have. I'm looking at it as, yeah, I don't agree with what Cam's doing. But I also know that it's not just males who make families with multiple baby mamas or baby. It's a lot of women who got 5 kids and 5 baby daddies. It's a lot of women who got 8 kids and 8 baby daddies. And to me, that doesn't make them scoundrels or make them the scum of the earth. It just makes them have 5 baby daddies or 4 baby daddies.
Johnny,
So wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on.
Let him get it out, because he's been waiting all day.
I have. All I'm really saying is I'm not saying Cam is a good guy at all. I do not agree with his ideology. But what I am saying is it's not just males who are guilty of that type of action. It's both male and females do the same thing. That's all I'm saying.
Johnny,
I don't, for me, that wasn't the focus. My focus was his ideology about the marriage, saying that he was waiting, and he was waiting, taking his time, and he was being selective of the woman that he chose.
So he hadn't met that woman yet. Like Oprah ain't married.
The licensed professional psychologist that was on his show, literally, no, ain't
Just
none of us licensed professional.
Don't mean you're right.
Ain't none of us licensed professionals.
But that don't mean she's right.
That deals with relationships.
She literally
said.
Right.
So do you think that does that even logically make sense? You're saying I'm taking my time and I'm being selective. You're not being selective because you're, excuse my language, laying the pipe, as the lady said earlier, with whomever and whoever, and you're making multiple children. Now, children are a blessing,
she said,
blah, blah,
she
blah.
said laying the rod.
Look, children are a blessing, blah,
that
blah,
was
blah.
Your mama.
Right?
Okay.
So, but my point is, you're not being selective, because what you're doing is creating more of a problem. You think you're being slick by saying, oh, I'm taking my time, I'm being selective, but you're in fact doing the opposite. You're not being selective. You're literally laying down with whoever you choose to lay down with. You're having children with whoever it is that you decide you want to have children with. So you're not being selective, while all the while you think you are, but you're creating broken homes. So all 8 of these children will be raised without a father in the home because you've already unselected the mother.
I agree with you.
By the
Right?
way,
I
and by the
never
way,
So
and
that's
disagree
my
Johnny,
with
point, is that
and by
what
the
he's
way,
saying
and
is
my
just foolishness and it's flawed.
I
it
never
is, and my
disagree
point
with you,
is
not one
that
time about
that it
his
is
point
a
of view.
form of
Never
control.
did.
Now, Johnny, it is a form of control on his part, and it's a form of control on her part as well. Now,
So you think some of these women are literally not going into the relationship with Cam, knowing that he's not going to marry him, but they still go into the relationship. Yeah, I'm on birth control, but they want to get pregnant by him so they can get the money. So if you're going to sit here and tell me that doesn't exist, then I'll just shut up the rest
I'm
of the
not
show.
saying.
Okay,
I'm
hold
not
on.
saying it. I'm not saying
Tina
that it
said
doesn't.
this is a conversation she want to have offline. I agree. Sandra said this is the subject is not women, it's what he's done. Anthony said Madonna and Angelina Jolie have 6 children and they're not married. Granted, but Madonna was married when she had her children and adopted, and Angelina Jolie was married to Brad Pitt when she had all of her. Well, she had a child by him, and all the rest were adopted. She was married to Brad Pitt at that time. Sandra also said many men think that a woman is mindless, which is extremely sad. And then Anthony said DMX has 17 children. And unfortunately, DMX ain't with us no more.
But
So
y'all said that the dude was having mind control over
And,
these
but
women.
but no,
no,
no.
that's
What
Brenda said
you
it.
don't
And
no
then
no.
I'm saying,
What you
and
don't know,
nobody's
Johnny,
saying women ain't got brains.
Johnny, you
They
don't
are
understand
choosing
that,
to do this.
Johnny. You don't
Huh?
understand. You don't understand domestic violence, and you don't under. There's
Oh my
different
God.
types of violence. There is psychological. There is emotional. There is physical. There is economic. It's all kinds. When you have a baby in a situation like that, you place Cam in the position that he can be controlling. Okay, if
Who
you
placed
want
him
a
in a
certain
position
lifestyle.
that he could
Now,
be
I'm
controlling?
not saying that she wasn't manipulative either. I'm just simply saying that there is a level of control that both of them are playing with, okay? But he has the upper hand because he's the one with the money. Now, in his mind, he
My
said,
point
hey,
exactly.
he says this. He says, you know what? I'll
My
just buy
point
her a
exactly.
house. He says, I'll just buy her a house. Okay, to a child. I did a workshop one time, Johnny, way back in the day. I'm a leadership consultant.
No,
And I asked the children, I said, tell me something, about, ranking things and importance in their lives.
thank you,
And
TD.
you know what they said? The most important thing in their life was their parents. It wasn't tennis shoes. It wasn't having a great house. It wasn't any of those things. It was about having their parents. So
Mm-hmm.
this notion that you can buy it, like if you put them in an $800,000 house and in Cam, I buy them this, I buy them that, I buy her this. She rides in that. She carries that kind of purse. That's still not parenting, and that's still not, as far as I'm concerned, the equivalent of a lifestyle of being there and present in the life of that child.
Exactly.
I think TD Brown said all involved are thinking about themselves and definitely not the children. I agree
Absolutely.
with that 100%. And it's not
Mm-hmm.
just Cam, it's the women who are having the
I,
babies
I, I
too.
agree with that,
And that's
Johnny.
my only point. Why sit up and try to make it be all about Cam when it's about
Because
all
we're
the
talking
adults
about
in
Because
this,
their
I said
all
this
the adults
again
in this
from
situation?
the point
It's
that
all the
I was
adults.
making earlier before the show. My issue was what the statement that he made about marriage and about him being selective, and thought he was being so cunning and so smart. When the psychiatrist, she basically ate him up. She was like, no, you're doing literally the opposite of what you think you're doing, which is creating the broken homes with all of these children. No, he's not making the babies by himself, obviously, but his ideology of why he's doing it is what is flawed. And my concern is the children that are products of this ideology that he's living by. So if he continues unchecked living this idea that I'm just taking my time, I'm being selective, and you're actually not being selective. You just said, I want as many children, I want them to keep coming. So I guess you're going to try to surpass Nick Cannon and have 15, 16, 17 children like DMX did. But DMX did a disservice to his children because clearly he wasn't in their lives either.
I
You
saw
can
it.
send
And by
$1
the way,
million a month
and
in child
and
support. It does not take the place of a father physically being in the home every day, midnight ER visits, science fair projects, cheerleading practice, football games. Nothing, no amount of money can take the place of him physically being there. And he's already
right.
screwed these 8 children because he can't physically be there for 8
and-
children in 3 different
real,
homes.
So the real problem is that he's having babies that he's not going to be having in a 2-parent household. Is that
by the way, he's having
can you answer
no,
that
I mean,
question?
let me ask
Can
you,
that question be answered first?
Let me ask you this. Let me just say this question. Let me say this answer. He is having babies with women that he know is never going to be his wife.
That's not what I asked.
No, but that is the answer to your question.
No, it's not. That's not what I asked.
If you don't want to be with somebody like that, you know what I'm saying?
My
Emily,
question
in terms of
is,
the future, why are you having children with someone and you're going to be connected to that mother for the rest of that child's life?
my question again is, so the real problem with him is that he's intentionally having babies with people who he knows he's not going to be there in a joint effort to parent. Is that?
I didn't say joint effort.
I'm asking.
I would say yes.
Is that the basis of the problem? That he is intentionally having kids that he knows from the beginning he has no intention of giving this child a chance at having a 2-parent home.
Well, let me answer. Let me answer. You nor I can say that that's what he's intentionally doing. Maybe he is, maybe he's not. Maybe he thinks that this one is going to be the one. This one will be the one that I marry. They get in a relationship. He has 2 or 3 more kids. He realizes she's not the one and he moves on. Right. But what he's saying is he's not looking for a wife at that particular point. He's taking his time and he's being selective. And the doctor's point was that you're actually not being selective. You're being reckless.
Because she said he's having these babies who will not have a 2-parent home.
No.
That's what I'm asking. And so what I'm saying is the same thing that he's doing is the same thing that's been done a million zillion times by women. 5 kids, 5 baby daddies.
Okay, no, we talk about Cam Newton.
Johnny, you can't twist that, baby.
I ain't twisting it. You're trying to find out what makes him so evil as opposed to the other people.
No, you are trying to spin it. The issue is, just like Emily's up, I'm just like, you don't understand. First of all, you don't go into a relationship like Cam has clearly said, this woman is, I don't want her to be my wife.
I ain't dogging Cam like that.
Right?
If I'm dogging the other people.
Problem. That's okay. You ain't got to. I am. He says, I don't want to have I want to have a baby with you, but I don't want you to be my wife. That's foolishness.
Please, Sandra.
That's foolishness. And it's wrong. And you play
and that's where I'm at. Like, but because again, y'all know I love children, and my mindset be stuck on the kids because the children are the ones that suffer because of his ideology. It's
that's
like,
right.
Okay.
Now that's why I'm against him. That's why I'm against
and it's
him.
like you telling, the Lord, you're trying to hide behind Christians, the Lord, children are a blessing, and I want God to send me as many kids. But no, that's not right.
I'm against
we
him for
have
that.
common sense. And common sense lets you know that children need to have a mother and a father there. And you know that you got 3 baby mamas in 3 different cities, 3 different states. You can't physically be there for them. So all of this boils down to you are doing a disservice to these children. And you talking about blatantly saying you plan on bringing more children into this world unmarried. And you don't care whether you married the mother or not, and you're not intending to marry the mother because you taking your time and being selective all the while.
He was never going.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
He said that he was taking his
selective.
time and
That's
being selective.
Right, but he didn't say.
By the way,
taking your
never
time.
gonna get married.
At this point, let's just be honest. Let's call a spade a spade. I know you reaching on this one, Johnny. Let's call a spade a spade.
He did not say that.
He said that he was being selective. He said he was taking his time and he was being selective.
He did say that. He did.
By the way, and then in the same, by the way, in the same breath, he said that he's a Christian And I'm like, okay, help me understand where all of this goes in. I'm like, you, Emily,
Right. That's what I'm
enough is
saying.
enough. I mean, and I do believe as a community, we need to start calling people out and stop letting them slide when we know what they're doing is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in terms of judgmental piece, he a grown man. If and the only person he got to answer to is God. But as far as with those children, he don't need to keep having all of these children.
And I can
Okay. And
understand
right,
if you're going into the relationship, if you're going into a relationship and dating
right.
this person intentionally with the intent, okay, at this point, he's old enough to be looking for a wife. You should be dating with the intent of looking for a mate for the rest of your life or looking for a wife. So if you're dating these women and you know that you're taking your time and you're being selective and you're not taking the proper precautions not to bring additional children into this world, then he wrong on every single level. He's literally just being selfish and he's thinking of himself, and he doesn't realize the damage that he's doing to the unborn children that he already said he planning on making and the ones
And
that are already
absolutely.
here.
And by the way,
So the
Johnny,
children suffer.
that is, and just so that you understand that I'm an equal opportunity basher, I feel the same way about some, and I know it may be some of my listeners out there. You having three, four children from three, four different baby daddies, and then you want a high quality man, a high value man in your relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You understand where I'm going with it? You ain't
Or a
gonna
high
get that.
quality woman. Because
That's
think
right.
about this: if he takes his time, say for instance, 6-7 years from now, he decides he finds a woman, and this is the one he wants to marry. At this
Right.
point, he's had, let's just say, 5 more children. So now
Yes.
you have 13 children. What type of woman are you expecting to get that is going to be okay with helping you co-parent 13 children?
Team.
It's an
Uh-uh.
unrealistic
Uh-uh.
expectation. And the only kind of woman you're going to get realistically that's going to help you co-parent 13 children, she just looking for a paycheck. She want to be in there for the money because I'm a woman, you're a woman, and you know that's a turn off. I meet a guy
But
and you got 13
teen
children.
children.
Yeah,
Oh
no,
no.
no,
And then
player.
and no. And then you got the baby mamas that you got to deal with, Johnny. I don't care how much money he got, okay? It ain't even about the money. He can buy me as many Birkins as he want to. He can buy me all kind of Maybachs. He can take and put me in that
But
million
Brenda,
million
that's
dollar
you.
home.
But what about the
No,
girl who
but
got the fan in the window?
by the way, and that ain't the high quality girl that he want now. That's not gonna be her because she's got a choice. She don't have to deal with no 13 children.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know
What you
what Deborah
reading something?
Braswell talking about.
What Deb say?
Because I don't know. She had like I'm saying something different from what I'm saying.
She said, Johnny, my fault, your fault, nobody fault. Don't matter. The child suffers. Stop playing. You know better, Mr. Hollingshead. Stop playing, Mr. Selective. Thanks, Brandon.
That's what I'm saying.
Equally wrong.
What is she saying?
Amen.
Because
Next.
I'm against what he's doing, and
Okay.
but I'm just saying he ain't the only person doing it.
Well, you got
I
a
know,
funny
but
way
that
of
don't make it
showing.
right, Johnny.
I
It
didn't
don't
say
make
it was
right.
right. I'm just trying to figure out why we just simply bashing him.
Because that's the topic of
Because
discussion
he's
today,
in the
Johnny.
social media. He's just like one, put like this. He's put his business out there where we can talk about it. But there are people, and y'all know I work in the court system, and y'all know I know, and y'all know I know who. And I don't talk about these people's business because it's confidential. I cannot. I will lose my job.
Tony Miller said, I'm on Johnny's side. 2 grown consenting adults. They can do what they want.
Nobody said
Okay.
they couldn't. So what's the
Nobody
point
said
in
they
that?
could. The
Nobody
point
said they
is,
couldn't do
but
what they
by the way,
want. We're
well,
talking about the
bring
children that are
don't bring
produced from this
children.
foolishness.
That's the problem. If
So
if
we want to.
his
So in other words, we want to take a stance against Cam and what he's doing. Right? Let's take a stance against him and his ideology. But we don't want to take a stance against the woman that got 5 baby daddies or the
Yes,
woman
I
that's
do.
got 8 baby
No.
daddies.
Yes,
We
I
ain't
do.
talking about
No,
it.
that's a lie.
We started
That's a
talking
lie,
about
Johnny.
the fact
That's
that
a
this
lie,
guy.
Johnny, that's a lie. I haven't said that. I sit up and tell you quick. I tear these women up. I just can't talk about them personally by name on air. But I
I ain't
got
asked nobody to talk about nobody by name.
but
Y'all
I
wearing
have a
Cam out.
problem.
He's a Christian, he said.
I have a problem with women who are having all these children, all these different baby daddies.
I don't think they are less than anybody. That's all my point is.
Well,
Just
Johnny,
because they did that, I'm
I
not
didn't
looking
say
down
Johnny.
on nobody.
I didn't say they
So
were.
I ain't looking
and I'm
down on
not,
Cam. I ain't looking
Johnny,
down on the women that got 5
I'm
baby
not
daddies.
looking down
I ain't
on
looking
them.
down on
I'm
nobody.
just simply, well then, you know what? I ain't looking down. I'm just simply saying what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. It's an opinion is that if you're going to have all of these children, you know, first of all, you need to be responsible for them. These kids didn't ask to come here.
Mm-hmm.
And then too, this is what happens when we have all these children, single parent children in the school. Then what? And they're acting out. Then what?
No, we can't, Anthony.
What Anthony say? I can't see.
Anthony
He always
says,
got something.
so can we talk about the kind of Christianity that created a Cam Newton?
Now let me ask y'all a question that I heard.
I think that's a great
I'm gonna
answer.
really make y'all jump on me now. Can I ask you two ladies a question that I got out of the barbershop with a bunch of guys sitting around? And
If it's pertaining
they were
to the
not being
subject matter,
aggressive. They were not being, wait a minute, listen.
to the subject matter and not a total.
It pertains to how women take a different point of view of the same.
No. We're sticking to the subject matter today. If it's sticking to what it is that we're specifically talking about,
And what are we talking about again?
We're talking about Cam Newton's view on marriage and having multiple children and why he's saying he's being selective
about himself. He wasn't saying that's how other people need to be. He said that's how.
And by the and we're simply saying
we're talking about him.
Right, we're talking about him, and we're talking about we disagree.
We do. That's why we're talking about. We got a phone caller. Hello, caller.
Yeah, y'all talking about the ladies, the man with all these babies, mamas and babies. Well, I look at it like this: if a lady have that first baby by that man or that celebrity, and she had that baby, and she getting them big bucks and put her in that big house, well then she said, well, what's wrong with having 2 or 3 more? And then the next one come along and do the same thing. So what's the fault? Who the fault on? It's just as much her fault as it is his fault.
Okay, we've answered that question 1,000 times.
No,
it's
brother,
it's both of their
fault, sir.
And I keep saying the children are the ones that suffer.
Make your point, brother.
He made his point.
He was still on the phone talking.
Hey, how you doing, sir? Can you hear me? This is Brenda Williams. How you doing today?
I'm great.
Listen, we're talking about, I got what you're saying, and what I'm saying that is both of their faults. She wanted something out of the relationship and he wanted something. But let me ask you something. Why should she act? You know, this is the problem. She want to be a wife and he is not treating, he don't want a wife.
They don't want to be no wife. They want that money.
You don't know that, Johnny.
I agree with Johnny. They don't want to, if a woman lay down with a man and have 2 or 3 children by her and he ain't married her by then, she don't want to be no wife.
Well,
and then when the next one come and she already see he got 3 kids.
Farm on the street. If she already done seen what the deal is after them first 2.
That's not true. Okay, thank you, caller.
Shame on me.
Oh, he's still talking. I didn't kill him.
Okay, you know what though? I got what you're saying, and this is a challenge. And I think that, you know, I have seen this. I've seen this so many times in the courthouse. Okay, but I'm telling you, there are so many women, and y'all listen to him. Y'all gonna agree with me what I'm saying. You know, stop playing wife to somebody who don't want a wife. If a man tell you, I do not want a wife, don't play it. Don't do it. Don't have any children with him. That's why I'm all about freedom of choice. Because if somebody say, oh, I don't want a wife, oh, okay, I'm not having a baby for you. And
I disagree. And I disagree with the caller. I'm not sure if he's still on, but right. I don't believe that women that are dating these celebrities with this amount of money are dating with the intention of not being married. Because if we're talking about it's about money, it's the bigger paycheck is let me marry you, let me stay married for 10 years, and let me collect spousal support, alimony, and child support. Now, these women are dating because they do want to be the wife. They not dating
Not
just to
all
have
of
a
them.
baby.
Not,
No,
yes, some
Johnny,
of them
Johnny,
are. Some
Johnny,
of them
Johnny,
believe
Johnny,
that if
Johnny,
they
You're
have
talking
a
about
baby,
Johnny,
a
you
one in a
living,
million chance. Most
Johnny,
women
you
are
living,
dating.
in
You
a
can't
fantasy
tell me
world.
because I'm a woman you would do it. I'm telling you, a woman is not going to go
you
into
are
that
not like
situation.
all women, Emily.
Oh,
And
yes,
Clearly
we
all I'm,
are.
I'm not.
and
Oh,
all
yes,
I'm
I'm a
we are
diamond,
too.
baby.
all I'm saying is, please
Johnny,
let me
Johnny,
speak
you don't know what you're
some.
talking about. Johnny,
Please
let me
let me
tell
speak
you, Johnny,
some.
you don't know what you're talking about. And the
How
magic number for a
come?
woman, listen to me. And the magic number for a woman is 10 years.
Mhm.
You want to stay married for 10 years so that you
So
can
you can
get all.
maximize the amount of money you get. So
That's right. And
so
I'm
it
telling,
still comes down
and
to
I
the
am
money,
telling you,
and that's what I'm saying. That's why, whether you
no.
believe
And
it
you
or
would say,
not,
no,
there
you
are
would say,
some women, Brenda. There are some women who
Johnny,
get with rich
no,
men, knowing they
Johnny,
ain't gonna get married,
no.
but they want the money. You can't
Johnny,
tell me you
How do
don't
you
know
get the
they're
that.
money
not
if
going
you
to
don't
get the
marry?
money if they're not
You
married.
get it because you have a baby and the man gonna take care of his kids, and then they say, "Well, you don't want your baby mama walking around here with her hair not done. Let me get that money to get my hair done."
You talk about a
Ways
whole
different angles people go at.
Johnny. You talk about a whole different class of women. These women right here, that's dealing with Cam Newtons. You know what I'm saying, Emily, and that type. They want to be married.
You don't know that, Brenda.
But you don't know what you're saying either.
That's what I'm saying. So how you are? We don't know. That's my point.
Johnny, there's nobody. Johnny, I have dealt with in my career over say 13 or 14,000 different divorces.
So you tell me ain't no such thing as gold diggers.
I'm telling you that you don't understand the definition of them if you don't understand that a person that is involved with somebody with that kind of money don't want to be married to them. Okay, so
Right.
no. You don't.
Because I'm telling you from a woman's perspective, if I was that type of woman and I'm quite intelligent, I'm going for gold.
You
if I
got
know
that much sense though, Emily.
I'm gonna marry you.
Women
I'm not
like
just gonna
you.
pump
Yes,
out
they
babies
are.
to you.
All women don't
Because
think like
eventually,
you.
once the child turn 18, the child support gonna get cut off.
I stand to say all women do not think like you and Brenda do. I appreciate and I admire the way that you two ladies think. But if y'all standing around here thinking that all women think that way, you are very
Janet,
all women don't think that way. But here's the key. A lot of women do. The majority of women do. It's that y'all don't give them credit. You're saying that, but I'm telling you, yes, a lot of women do think long term. They think if they're in it for the money, the long term thing is to marry. It's not just to have the baby. That doesn't make sense. If a gold digger is a real gold digger, and trust me, I know because I sit and work with women every day. They sit in my chair.
Emily.
I know personal gold diggers. I'm not going to call her out, but I know one. And she goes for the long term. This is not just, I'm going to have a baby by him so I can get a little child support. No, I want to marry this man so I'm going to get all the perks while we're married. Let him mess up a few times while we married. I know that I need to stay in there a good solid 10 years. Time that 10 years come, let me go and get this divorce because you're going to give me spousal support, alimony, and
Can I ask you two ladies
so the payday makes more sense.
Can I ask you two ladies?
Okay.
So gold diggers, who do they normally dig for gold from?
Whatever man, if a true gold digger will go for any man that got a lot of money, got more money than her.
You said man. So what makes you think that men don't know and can identify gold diggers better than you? Since
they can't.
Because if that's the case, then how come they always getting caught up?
No, if you got enough money, you can let them dig
answer
for
that.
gold.
Answer that. How come they always get caught up?
I'm about to answer you.
It ain't us that get caught up. It's y'all.
By the way,
I have an answer for you.
Okay.
So this is how. So they said, "Ooh, that guy right there got 3 Rolls Royces and Benz and BMWs and all that and 18 houses." And then they ain't in it for the emotion. They in it because they just digging for money. And they sitting there going, "Girl, I got him on the road. I'm getting this. I get this. I'm driving this. I'm driving that." He got 17 more cars just like the one she's driving. And when he gets tired of her, while she been enjoying all the gold, but whenever he gets tired of her, she gonna be back with her paper bag. on the
By
side.
the way, and that's the point. And the point I'm making is, I got, he's saying that when the man get tired of her, he's gonna discard it. And you know what, Johnny? That's the stupid part. That's why they need to make sure that they're married to him, so that when they do get tired of her, because they know that's coming, just like Emily said with the child support, they're gonna be able to get their money. You don't understand long term. You really don't. And all due respect,
I agree with y'all on that stuff. I do.
Okay, Anthony says the problem has been stated. What is the solution? Will the same church help raise the children? He has a belief system that came from somewhere,
Lord.
whether we agree with it or not. Sandra said, Jesus, take the wheel. What kind of generation of children are they bringing into this world? And Anthony said, no, that's not always true for every woman. There are gold digging men and women. And then Tone said, times have changed. It's sometimes about a payday.
Not about the children, not about whether the child gonna have a father in the house. None of that. There are a lot of women who the only thing they're concentrating on is the payday.
By the way, and that is the conversation that we're having, because it's important that we recognize and bring it out. By the way, you say it's not whose fault?
No, I'm saying if you know that the woman, the whole reason why she's involved with this type of guy, because she knows he already got 3 kids by this girl and 2 by this girl, and then you know this, and then you just saw him on this doctor's podcast, radio show, whatever that was. You just saw him say that's his lifestyle. He's gonna multiply, and I guarantee you, 2 years or a year from now, is gonna be another lady that stepped up to the plate. And by the way, and you gonna blame Pam instead of that woman making a choice.
That's you. That's
all I'm saying.
No, Johnny, and that's not what we're saying. I'm simply saying that both of them are being manipulative, and that she is a victim.
I agree.
Okay, and so it can, and any woman who keep having children with somebody out there, they got 4 and 5 children. Why would you want to be involved with them? And I'm like, Emily, if he got 4 or 5 children, I don't want to be involved with him. If he got, he ain't got. I don't care how much money he got. He ain't got nothing for Brenda, because I don't.
There you go.
Children.
And I said, I don't mind saying it out loud. It ain't nothing you can do for me. If I meet you at my age and you got 5 or 6 children running around, it ain't nothing you can do for me. Baby, go take care of your children.
Because don't nobody want to deal.
Nobody that got kids under 21. I need your children.
By the way, and I'm like, Emily, and when it comes down to just like, you got to deal. Let me tell you something, Johnny. It's more than a notion to deal with a baby mama or a baby daddy. Okay, it's either one. It don't matter which one.
And the grandmama too.
No, no. Grandmama ain't even in that league.
Yes, they do be
Johnny, I'm talking about straight up baby mama and straight up baby daddy.
Oh, you're talking about the legal thing. Okay.
No, it ain't. It's legal and it's everything else. You can't pay me money to deal with, like, really, I deal with 1. But if I got to deal with 2 or 3, oh no.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. You can't. It ain't nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Where is the love?
Ain't no love.
And I don't even mind saying it out loud.
Come on,
a few years ago,
where's your mothering attitude? Where's your mothering attitude?
I did it, and guess what? His name Jimmy Rollins, and he's 25.
You have to deal.
I did my job, and
let me just tell you, you got to deal with nonsense about them dropping. How they gonna drop the kid off. And then let me just tell you this, Johnny, just so you get a gist of how it is. How you gonna drop your child off to some other woman who ain't his wife's house?
Oh, now see, we done got off the Cam Newton stuff now.
No, that is Cam Newton, because none of them people are married. So those children are going to intersect at some time during visitation. So he got to deal with all of them mamas, and them mamas got to deal with each other, because they
might end up being good friends.
No, Johnny, that ain't how that works.
You don't know. No, 30 years ago, you might be right.
Johnny,
but today's world,
I don't care what you say. It don't.
Man, Brenda Griner on TV telling folk that she want her son to call her pops.
What, Johnny? You want to take this thing to an area that we're not going there, Johnny? We're not dealing with that.
Times have changed.
Johnny, that is off subject. We're not going to deal with Brittany Griner. That's not even a part of the conversation.
I'm just saying times have changed. That's all.
Well, then we need to talk about that at a different show, but
right.
not this one.
Yeah, I did. I saw.
Wait a minute. Look at Tony.
Says my grandfather had 22 kids by several different women. We all was at the reunion. He took care of all of my aunts and uncles. Sir, he did not.
No, that's a lady. Look like
Tony. Okay, I get Tony.
Sounds
ma'am
more like
or
female.
sir. He did not. There was no physical way possible one man could take care of 22 kids with several different women if they weren't in the same house. Paying child support. This is what I want to make clear. Paying child support is not all that is required to take care of a child. That is the legal obligation. The moral obligation is being there again for the midnight ER visits, for the science projects, the cheerleading practice, the football games, all the stuff that encompasses being there physically for a child. So your grandfather did not take care of 22 children. He may have paid child support and made sure they had shoes and some clean drawers.
And that's what. And by the way,
actually taking care, unless they all lived in the same house, it's not impossible.
And see, the thing
my
about
father did an excellent job to taking care of us. So it's not. I'm not hit. I'm saying I don't like to see that because we keep equating the money, the physical money, with actually taking care of a child, and sending money and paying child support is not the only thing that's required. Going and seeing them on the weekends is not the only thing that's required. Now, I understand that sometimes, that happens. You have to co-parent and that's the way it is. But let's not pretend that just because a person pays child support, that's all that's required.
And by the way, and let me get back to Cam Newton.
All right.
Have y'all seen? Let me just say, have y'all seen Cam Newton? Have y'all looked at?
I've seen.
Have you looked at that outfit that he be wearing? Let's just say you go to the school. I'm just telling you, he don't even carry himself like a parent. Now I saw him in there with a little hat on, with a little feather on, and I said, look at him.
He's a celebrity.
So, okay, Jeanette says, I know for a fact that Cam's dad is a minister. So that goes back to what Anthony was saying earlier about what type of Christianity is breeding the type of man that Cam Newton is. If your father is a minister, clearly you know that what you're doing is wrong. If we're speaking from a biblical standpoint and a Christian standpoint, we all can sit here and say that what Cam Newton is doing is not Christian based, but your father is a minister. So you can't sit up there and holler, I'm a Christian. No, sir, you're not behaving in that manner. Now, we don't have what they say, a heaven or hell to put nobody in, but you would have been better off not even talking about that, not even throwing the Bible into it or talking about Christianity, because at the end of the day, I mean, what you're doing is not biblical. Now, my biblical scholars, anybody out there, correct me if I'm wrong, but is that a Christian thing to do, to lay down with multiple women, have multiple children, and not be married to any of them? And then
by the
saying
way, let me ask you this:
sleep with multiple women and have multiple children.
And by the way, and Johnny, he has a camp. You know this, right? Every year, some sort of football camp that he's supposed to be helping children who don't have dads. Ain't that ironic? You know what I'm saying? And he, huh?
There are a whole lot of children that live in two-parent households, and nobody in the household has any parenting skills. And some of these same kids grow up and be nothing but jailbirds, murderers, and thieves.
You hit the head on the nail. You said the parents don't have any parenting skills. They're raised in two-parent households with parents that don't have parenting skills. So
we're talking about.
And there are a lot of successful grown-ups who grew up in households that did not have two parents, that did not have one parent. Sometimes it's a lot of households that grew up when.
But Johnny, we talking about Cam. We talking about Cam Newton.
Make the whole world problem be about Cam Newton. I ain't gonna do it.
We ain't talking about that. We just talking about Cam Newton.
I got your back, Cam.
By the way,
trying to get some money from Cam too. Look, he want to get some money from Cam too. Cam, come on down here and support Johnny.
Hook your boy up, man. Hook your boy up.
And that's the problem. We don't need to take and celebrate foolishness. He's wrong. If you're going to be with those women, then you should.
Are
And
the
they're
women
not
wrong as well?
No.
That's my only point.
We've
What?
answered that 1,000 times.
The
Yes,
women are
Johnny.
wrong
Yeah,
as well.
hey, Johnny, we've said
But y'all
that.
tried to paint them as such victims.
Johnny,
They are
but
not victims.
Johnny was. But
No, I don't
Cam
think
was
we ever
on
tried to
TV.
paint the
Yes,
women
she
as
did.
victims.
Yes, she did.
Johnny, Cam was on TV. He put his stuff out there like that, and that's
I know.
why he's getting the backlash. So
And the
it's
women
not
that
so much.
fell for it getting the backlash too. I'm giving
Well,
it.
and by the
I'm
way,
giving
and they
it to them
should. And by the way, and all of
women.
them should. By the way,
That's all
all of
I'm
them
saying.
crazy.
All
All
of
of them
them, him
crazy
and
bringing
them.
these children. Listen, I don't want to see. I tell you what. Let's take a look at this case 10 years from now when they all in court crying about child support. When they realize that the state have put a cap on how much money they can get, and they're not going to get a bunch of money. They're just going to get whatever the states now calculate. And this is my closing. The states got smart.
Preacher.
Okay. And this is for the state of Georgia and all those who listen out there on child support. It used to be based on 17 to 21% of the man's earning. It's not that way anymore. It is a combination of both earnings with a cap on the income. So this business of you're going to go in and you're going to go after a Cam Newton or something like that because you think you're going to get all this money, that's gone. It's not all of this money. It's based on your money and his money get a cap and your money get a cap. So it's not, you're not going to get rich on getting child support. That's over. Those days
I'm
are
gonna say
gone.
them days is over with.
Those days are gone. The good Republican Congress and these state houses and stuff like that, these Republicans took care of that. Now that's exactly what happened. And every year they update that child support to make sure that men, and typically it's not all men that pay child support, it's some women, but it's so that these men are treated fairly when it comes down to having to pay support. So now you can't look at that as being an income because those days are over. And he get credit for if he paying for the health insurance or the extra activities, or if he paying for say child care, or he got little Johnny, little Sue and music lessons. He's got all that. He get to take all of that off his child support. Okay. So that's
so
what
it
I'm
ain't
saying.
a payday no more.
It ain't no payday no more. So they up here, they crazy women having these kids with Cam. Cam ain't paying all that money for no child support. He ain't got to. He only paid what the courts tell him to pay. That's what he want to do.
Okay, Tone said, I'm confused. Child with the Panthers alum. The couple has been together since 2021. According to reports, Jasmine joked that she is Cam's third baby mama when she shared her pregnancy announcement. Indeed, the NFL legend has 7 children with 2 other women, and he takes his job as a dad and stepdad very seriously. Okay.
You know what? I don't care that he does. I think he's selfish as I don't know what.
Right. It's like, thank you for that.
Thank you. By the way, he said, by the way, Johnny, you ain't gonna like this.
Johnny Johnny a gold digger.
I got your back, Tam. Hey, Brenda, we need you to call us on the phone over here. We finna have after the show.
All right, we love y'all. We'll talk to y'all next week. Bye.
Call.
All of a sudden.
You've been listening to All of a Sudden. Join them every Monday evening from 5:30 to 6:30. All of a Sudden with your host, Brenda Sutton. That's every Monday. We'll see you there.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
Connecting the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM, W300 EB.